The weekend is here, everybody, and ahead on this week's episode of Racing Around the World presented by HPIbet. Jason and I are going to be talking major star power in the Derby preps from Oaklawn Park and Gulfstream Park. Plus, we've got more great racing action coming your way from Woodbine Mohawk Park. And we're back to duke it out in another edition of Bet Battle. That and more coming up on Racing Around the World, which starts right now. Hello, everybody. Welcome back to another edition of Racing Around the World presented by HPIbet. I'm Chad Rosemont. He's Jason Portwando. And yes, buddy, the weekend is here, and we love the weekends, right? And especially this weekend, we've got a lot of great stuff to get to. But I want to talk about last weekend and your quick thoughts. Let's recap the Saudi Cup, world's richest race. There wasn't a whole lot going on. It wasn't the result we were hoping for. Maybe you were a little, but what do you think of it?
You had to go there, right? You just had to go there. It was tough because all the talk of Charlatan going up against Nixco, and I get it. Those two were the headliners, but I just knew that Mishriff was going to sit in that catbird seat. The young rider, David Egan, perfect piloting, pulls off a huge upset. And, hey, $20 million race, to have a young guy win it like that, good, great for him. I was going to say good for him, but great for him. But, yeah, great theater as well. And, hey, upsets happen in this game, right?
21 years old and winning a $20 million race. I can't even imagine. But, and word is Nixco and Charlatan both making their way back to North America. So Dubai World Cup won't be on their radar. We've got a busy weekend ahead, so let's get right into it. Jason, let's see what we've got on the HPI schedule. Here it is. Starting today, we've got Aqueduct, of course, kicking things off in the afternoon. Very heavy with the thoroughbred programs, as we know. Just all weekend long, we have got so much great racing coming up. And then we know we get into the harness racing on Friday. And what I noticed, and I'm sure you did as well, Jason, going through the programs, Woodbine Mohawk Park, after some light fields, the first week back, it's looking a lot more normal this weekend.
Yeah, which is what you expect. I mean, it takes a while to, get back into that groove. And, hey, we're not taking anything for granted. After what we've been through, I want to say over the last year, basically, in terms of the pandemic, it's great just to see a full slate. I mean, there were times where we saw 1 and 2 racetracks, right? So the fact that we were back to basically normalcy here, this is really great to see. And, yeah, as per usual, Friday, Saturday, Sunday, just stacked on HPI.
Yeah, at HPIbet. Again, the week 2 of being the new North American hub of the Japan Racing Association. They've got Kawasaki coming your way Sunday, 9-10 p.m. So looking forward to that as we've got, once again, just an absolutely full menu. And what to watch for? Well, as we talked about last weekend, it was all about, races outside of North America. Well, we are loaded here in North America, and it kicks off on Friday night from Turfway Park. They've got a Derby prep of their own. It is the John Battaglia Memorial. And then on to Saturday, 9 stakes races, Jason, at Gulfstream Park, 8 of them of the graded variety, headlined by that major Derby prep.
Salivating. I am simply salivating. Because you know what? Almost every race we're talking about today on the program has some sort of rematch. So this feels a lot like rivalry week. And you know what they say? Payback's a beauty. So we'll see if we get some of that, or perhaps if one of those horses can just cement themselves as that horse in that division. So there's a ton of action, a lot to watch for, and I can't wait to get down to business right here on the program.
Monomoy Girl gets her 6-year-old campaign underway Sunday in the Grade 3 Bayakoa. A lot of rain expected this weekend at Oaklawn, but not the snow like they had the last couple of weeks. We are into the final week of our major promotion with 500,000 points up for grabs here. March the 4th is when this wraps up. So bet 20 or more on the feature tracks. This week's feature tracks from Australia, Flemington, Turfway Park. Again, they've got that big card tonight. And then from the Japan Racing Association, Kawasaki. So a great variety there. And again, once you're entered into that, you can win a grand prize as well for 100,000 points. So lots up for grabs there through your HPIbet account. Easy to sign up to if you're not signed up just yet. And other big news, we're also going to be airing this show starting this weekend on HPITV Canada at 10:30 in the morning. So if you are tuning in on the first week, good morning, everybody on HPITV.
Yeah, I mean, hey, this is great, right? The fact that they want to see more of us, not a bad thing, right? So let's give the people what they want.
Not a bad thing at all. That's right. All right, let's go. We've got lots to get into here, Porty. So let's head to Oaklawn Park. Third time's a charm, right? They tried to get this card going. They kept rescheduling. Snow in Hot Springs, Arkansas. And yeah, they got to trade the snow. They're up around 20 degrees this weekend, but a lot of rain in the forecast for Saturday, Sunday. So you might have to alter your handicap. And you talked about rematches. Well, look at this rematch here. We've got two of the biggest, at least on the Derby Trail, set to make their sophomore debut in the Grade 3 Southwest. You've got Essential Quality, that 2-year-old champion, and a few doors down, Jackie's Warrior back to battle. They obviously stand out when you look at this field page.
100%. Don't want to say it's a 2-horse race, but it's a 2-horse race. And, going into last year's Breeders' Cup Juvenile, both were undefeated. So something had to give. 4 for 4 was Jackie's Warrior, a perfect 2 for 2 Essential Quality. And, hey, they said, let's get out on that Keeneland dirt course and settle it. And settle it they did. And, Jackie's Warrior likes to be up front, but just couldn't get to the lead. There were a couple of long shots that just were going way too fast. So Joao Rosario did the right thing. He sat in behind them, but he was still really close to that hot pace. And in the end, it just set the table for some closers. And Essential Quality, as we all know now, goes on to romp and does so by, a good enough margin by 3/4 of a length. Hot Rod Charlie was really good. Keep Me in Mind was third. But Jackie's Warrior, I think, is going to have a chance, Chad, to be more of the dictator and more of a force, because I don't see a lot of pace in this race, and I really feel like Jackie's Warrior, and maybe the turnaround was a little bit too quick for him. I think it was 27 days between his last start and then going to the Breeders' Cup Juvenile. Essential Quality had at least a week more of rest, so I don't know if that was a huge factor, but factor enough. The works are good enough. Asmussen does really well with any type, especially these types, Chad, off the layoff. So I'm going to go Jackie's Warrior to get revenge, turn the table on Essential Quality, leading every step of the way.
I'm with you. We don't know how much either one of these have improved, over the, brief off season as they get set for this sophomore debut. But this might be one of those scenarios where at least initially Jackie's Warrior is going to prove to be the better horse. And it's simply because of that pace scenario. Not going to have to worry about a hot pace. The only other one that really shows speed is the stablemate. I think Jackie's Warrior can just use that high cruising speed, get away with fractions his own way. And Essential Quality, I fully expect to race amazing, but I'm just not sure it's going to be enough. It just might play against him in this shorter field here, unless he can find a way to really, track closely to Jackie's Warrior. But I'm going to go with him as well. They're going to be very close on the board, I believe, in the wagering. So those are our thoughts in the Grade 3 Southwest for $750,000 and 10 points on the Derby Trail going to the winner. But bigger points will be up for grabs in Hallandale, Florida, as we go to Gulfstream Park. They've got the Grade 2 Fountain of Youth. There's a look at the field here. And at first glance, when you look at this, Jason, you can't help but feel that this, looks a lot like the Holy Bull. There's quite a few of these Holy Bull horses in here.
Which is rare because you don't get that many usually coming back. 5 from the Holy Bull. So this is just a bit of a different scenario here. And then you got Drain the Clock as well, kind of the fresh face. He's also coming back the same time frame. He did not compete in the Holy Bull, but on the same card, he took part in the Swale. But let's begin at the top, Chad. And greatest honor. I mean, Shug McGee, he really, really saw his horse take a big step forward last time out, just absolutely crushing in the Holy Bull. So a few days ago, I had a chance to speak with Shug, and we talked about that victory and what's ahead for his rising star.
Well, we thought he would run well, but I was a little surprised at how easy they won. Jose came back and said there was a lot left in the tank, which I like to hear. And, so we'll move along and see what this situation brings. And still don't think that he's running the distance that he wants to run. I think that what we do even going farther, he's going to be, I would think, a lot better, especially if you watch the way he runs and the way he travels and his pedigree. I think, means the distance perhaps going to be better up.
just continues to get better with every start. And Chad, just quickly, Shug also saying, this race he was kind of on the fence about. He said, he was going to wait for the Florida Derby, but he came out of the race so well. I got to put him back in, he says. I got to give him something to do. And he schooled well the other day in the paddock, and he's been working well at Payson as well. So all systems go with this guy.
And, one thing about Shug McGahee is when he gets horses racing very well, he does a great job at keeping them there. So he can sustain that. So, he was so impressive in the Holy Bull. But, you have a new face to race against, and one that raced on that same Holy Bull program in here and drained the clock from the inside. And, outside of losing a rider, this horse is undefeated. And, do you think this is a horse in your mind that can be kind of an X factor?
Yeah, that's a great label. I mean, I don't want to argue with perfection. He's 4 for 4, as you talked about. Yeah, the distance, we don't know, but I don't know if he has to have the lead. That's the thing with this guy. He sat somewhat in that last race we spoke of, the Swale. Let's go back and take a look. And the cruising speed of this guy, the velocity, my goodness. I mean, he is a horse that, can chase some legit fractions, 22 and change, 45 and change, 110. And look at him. Look at Zayas right now. You could put a glass of water on his back and he wouldn't spill a drop. And now as they straighten for the judges, now you see him actually, trying to ask for a little bit more. And this horse responds with a resounding yes. Now he's got McLean's music on the top. That horse only raced once in his career. Don't get a lot of pedigree notes in terms of that. The mare was 0 for 3 routing. No route winning sibs. So, yeah, I don't know. 2 turns, that is obviously the big question mark with him. But fully deserving of this opportunity. And that's what Safi Joseph had to say. He said, I got to be honest, before the Swale, they didn't even think about going 2 turns with this guy. But then after that performance, they said, you know what? At least once we got to give this horse a shot. He's training well. Safi thinks he's got the class to handle these. But, the distance, that is the $200,000 or $300,000 question mark with this guy. And Safi says, you know what? He can stay. He can stay. He says he thinks it's all going to come down to trip, Chad. So I think if you're trying to think outside the box a little bit, drain the clock could be kind of, the wild card in this field.
And I think he's going to get play. I mean, tough not to look there and just say, maybe he's worth a shot here. And I do like the approach. Yeah. You know what? He's proven great things. Why not give him a shot here, going the 2 turns? But, we talked about this being kind of, rematch of the Holy Bull with a bunch of them in here. Well, it's going to be a rematch between you and I as well, because I believe we've got the exact same picks we had in that Holy Bull.
Makes sense. Why not? I don't blame you. Your horse, that was the first time against winners, and he jumps right into stakes competition. And I'm going to go back to greatest honor. I mean, I was always taught you can't bite the hands that feed you, right? And this guy romped last time out. I just think he's getting better and better. And like Shug said, you know what? This may not be his distance. He wants to go further. And I don't think he's the type of horse that needs a ton of activity up ahead of him. He can stay closer if he wants to. So the price is going to be skimpy, but I'm going to go right back to greatest honor.
And as mentioned, I'm going to stick with the same pick as well. Prime Factor, there was all the buzz off of that impressive maiden win, and he didn't do what bettors had hoped he would do in the Holy Bull. And Todd Pletcher wasn't happy with his performance either. But we know Pletcher, and we know, he knows what kind of quality he's got. And for him to put him back in this spot says, okay, you know what? I know there's more there. We're going to put him in here. And he admitted he wanted him in an allowance race in that second start. It just never, came to fruition. So he ended up having to throw him kind of to the wolves in that spot. And still, it was okay. He'll be better. He's worked well since. I'm going to go Prime Factor to rebound in a big way. So those are our picks. Looking forward to that grade 2.
You're going to get a better price, that's for sure.
I should. I better.
Yeah,
you better be the favorite in there. You better be. All right. Well, let's switch gears and gates as we head to Woodbine Mohawk Park in Campbellville, Ontario. Week 2 of our racing action returning. And Saturday night, 10 races, quite a few big fields as the horse population continues to grow. We love seeing that. This is the on-track feature on Saturday, Jason. You've got 9 of them in here, headlined by the O'Brien Award-winning mare against the boys, So Much More. How about Nocturnal Blue Chip last weekend? We knew there had to be an upset somewhere, and he was the biggest price winner in the first couple of days, 47-1. We had a winner on the Thursday program, Touchdown AS, I think, that paid over $100.
You've had some big ones. You've got a few to hang your hat on there in terms of surprises, pari-mutually speaking. But again, Chad, here we go. We spoke of rivalry week, rematches. Well, we're going to get so much more going head-to-head once again with Wheels on Fire. But you notice the dynamics changed this time around. Wheels of Fire to the outside and, more speed signed on as well.
Plus, they all have the benefit of the one start, right? And, off the bench like that, these horses needed that. I still think they all raced really well in that first outing to go the kind of speed they did. And so much more, just like she did after our first shutdown. Obviously on the bench from March, came back in June. She was a fast rallying second in that contest. Here, she just got stronger as they got closer to the wire. And Wheels on Fire, I'm a big fan of this horse because he is huge. He is just a towering figure. He looks like he's going slow, and that's just because he's as big as he is. Reminds me of Ellis Park. And I knew he was going to be tough here digging in off these fractions, but so much more closing in, and she just needed a little bit more real estate. East End, I thought, raced well in between there as well, but so much more. I think she got everything she wanted out of that race. She's going to be just that much better this week. She draws better. I think post 6 is more suitable for her, and there's a lot more speed as well, to chase into. So it's tough to go against her. I don't love going with the chalk because she's likely to be odds on in this situation here, but there's going to be more action, a little bit more speed, and that just plays right into her hands. So James McDonald, as he likes to do, he can just lean back and have his picture taken is what I'm going to predict here in this 8th race on track feature. What about you?
So much more likely the odds on for a 4th consecutive start. And you're right, by the way, with Ellis Park. He is huge. Wheels on Fire. Bob can't look over. You can't look over any of them. You got to be doing one of these, looking side to side. But I think you pretty much, forecasted this one perfectly. I'm going to go to HP Napoleon, just trying to be a bit of a wise guy. He's going to need a lot of help to get it done, but there's speed from Wheels on Fire and East End and Points North, and so much more is going to have a beautiful target up ahead. HP Napoleon, if he can just get lucky, a little bit of racing luck, I'll play him for a bit of a surprise, just a bit of a surprise player.
You know what? He is my second pick. He's been good to me.
Okay.
Filion, as you know, has delivered at prices for me over the years. And I think of anyone in this group that has this, stands a chance to really improve from that first start back to the second off the bench, it's him. I really think look out for him. So you could be onto a good one there, Jason, in that 8th race.
Shot.
Looking forward to that on Saturday night. Why not? All right. So that's the harness. And we've got the music cued. So rematch. You're on the board with the bet battle last week.
Yep.
We were so close. I needed Jody to just get a little room sooner with his charge, but he just couldn't get through. Ended up finishing 3rd. So that cost me on the try, and you just missed the try as well. Ended up being 6-10-2 in there. Paid I want to say $108 for $1. But you wisely, even though you knew it was going to be a short price, you ended up getting 20 to win on Captain Video. And I'll say to you, Jason, I really thought he'd be odds on. You ended up getting 6-5.
And it was full value for the win. And I'm going to go right back to that horse coming up this weekend as well in Captain Video. So I think the horse has a chance to repeat the feat. And this week, can I do it again? Maybe I just got to be a little bit of a chalk-eating weasel one more time. That's all I'm going to say.
All right, well, this week's race with the $25 back into the bankroll. We go to Turfway. It's early. It's going to be on the Friday night program as they have got a Derby prep of their own. We've talked about the John Battaglia Memorial for $100,000. 10 points to the winner to prep for the March 27th Grade 3 Jeff Ruby Stakes for them, which is a little bit more significant. Here's a look at the field, Jason, and one that really stands out because we know him well. It's Gretzky the Great. The favorite to win the Sovereign Award here is the 2-year-old champ, already a Grade 1 winner taking the summer. And he's the early favorite in the Queen's Plate. So all eyes will be on Gretzky the Great. Is that what you did to build your ticket?
I did. I did. I mean, I looked up and down and I tried to find some value, but I said, hey, why not wave the red and white flag here? I'm going to go Gretzky the Great. I'm going to put him on top. If I get 6-5, I'm okay with that. Maybe even 8-5. And I'm going to play exacta. I'm going to play the exacta $5 wheel, part wheel. I'm going to put the 1 over the 5, 6, and 8. We've got some horses that have raced each other before. So again, part of that rivalry week theme, but Cassie tried to get this guy on the dirt, Chad, and just it didn't work out. But he's proven on turf, he's proven on synthetic. That's where he broke his maiden. If this guy gets proven on dirt, Cassie's got some thinking to do here. It's a nice problem to have. Do you go Derby Trail or do you go Queen's Plate Trail? We'll find out.
We will find out, and I'm going to go with him as well. Gretzky the Great, he's just going to be so tough. So I've got him, but I'm going to use Warrior in Chief from the other end of the starting gate for Kenny McPeak. Okay. Robbie Alvarado, this horse trying the synthetic for the first time. I'm just hoping that off of that maiden win, which capped off his 2-year-old season, he can come together with a big effort. So I've got him in second and third. I'm going to use the field in between the other spots there. So 112 all, 1 all 12. Then I got $5 left over. And instead of just kind of working around Gretzky the Great, just in case Warrior in Chief pulls off some kind of an upset like he did in that maiden win where he was 32-1 at Churchill Downs, why not just throw $5 on him? So I'll do that just as kind of a backup play. But this race goes through Gretzky the Great. He just looks like he's going to be too tough. We'll see if he's got to maybe change tactics, from the inside. Not sure he'll be able to use his speed from that spot to get out there. But I'll wish you luck, even though you're looking to ride that momentum.
Well, we can both win this time around.
I was going to say, we can. We can. Exactly, so, and I'm okay with that. I'm okay with that. Yeah, let's share. So good luck to everybody else playing along through HPIbet. And thanks for tuning in, everybody. Big shout out, of course, to Shug McGahee, for taking the time to chat with us as well. And some great comments again from Safi Joseph Jr. Have a good weekend, Porty. I know you are already chomping at the bit to get in on this action. How many TVs do you have set up to be able to take in all this?
4.
Yeah.
I had to do the math there.
Exactly.
And hey, don't forget, I'll see you Saturday morning, right?
Saturday morning on HPITV Canada. And maybe we can come on and brag about what happened at Turfway, perhaps. I don't know. We'll see if we can make that happen. Big shout out again to our producer behind the scenes, putting everything together. That is Luke Van Belkom. For Jason Porwando, I'm Chad Rosema. Thank you for watching Racing Around the World, presented by HPIbet. Have a good weekend, and we'll see you guys next weekend.